Ashe,
Mm.
peace and benedictions. This is a special news bulletin
Hey,
aside
hey.
from all of yeah, yeah. This is a special news bulletin aside from all of the bullshit, you know what I mean? That we touching on this
Right,
bridge situation. You know, don't think for a second that we don't got smoke for the rest of the shit that been going on. Like that false flag Russia shit. We gonna touch on that. But before we get into that, we gonna touch
right,
on this shit right here. You know, this is breaking news right here. So apparently something has happened in Maryland. You know, I'm not. We going to get into what happened, but I don't want to just say what happened without because this story is still uh developing. So
unfolding.
something
Yeah,
happened in Maryland, right? That
right,
resulted in a whole fucking bridge collapsing. You know what I'm saying? So what the fuck
right,
kind of bridge was it? It was the Francis Scott Key Bridge. So
right.
that's a big steel crossway that carries across Interstate 695. If I want,
Right,
you know what I'm saying. So they
right.
saying that early this morning, like around the witching hour at like 1:30 in the morning, right? Because you know anything after 12
Hmm.
is the witching hour. So sometime after 1:30 in the morning, a shipping container, allegedly a big ass shipping container that was going where that shit was going, Pope?
Sri Lanka. Supposed
Sri
to be
Lanka.
going to Sri Lanka.
All right. So what's significant
To my
about
caucus.
this about Pope? Can you tell us what's can you tell us what's first of all? Let me say good morning, brother. Good grand rising and all that. You know, my
Yes.
you know, how's the brother? How you doing?
Man, I'm doing great, my brother. Man, Philadelphia, California, man. It's
Right, right. Let's change it.
6 o'clock over here.
Yeah,
Right, right,
6
right,
o'clock
right.
over there. So like, shout out to the integrity brother Pope right
Right.
here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because for
for
me,
sure.
it's 9 o'clock, but it's 6 o'clock for him. So he jumped right up on
Right,
this. He jumped right up on this story. Told me he said, "Hey, look, man, there's some shit going on in Maryland. You gotta check it out." You know what I mean? But
right.
we jumped right on it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So can you tell us what is significant about this route to Sri Lanka? I'm saying it right, Sri Lanka. What's
Sri
significant
Lanka,
about
yeah.
about that route?
Well, I know what's significant about the bridge is part of that route. You know, they said it was on the, it said it's on its way towards that direction. But what I do know is that they said that the bridge was built in March of 1977. Now,
Oh, really? What a
right,
coincidence!
that is a coincidence.
Right.
Shout out to y'all that's viewing us right now too. Seeing the numbers go up with the views and things of that nature. Top of the morning, grand rising,
Yeah.
depending on your
Yeah.
subscription.
Hmm.
Appreciate y'all.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's some
Exactly.
crazy shit going on, man. Like we try to make sense of this shit. Do we got some video footage of this shit? Let's roll a clip or two or something. I was going to
Right.
try to see if I could make some PDFs. I wanted to talk about the Puff Daddy situation. People talking about all of that shit. You know, um,
Right.
but we want to touch on this bridge shit because this shit
Right.
just happened, and we pretty much got a lot of information real quick. So it was like, man, we might as well just go in on this shit. So
Right.
shout out to Pope and ENT, shout out to Red Pill Rescue Live, shout out to RBG Buffalo, shout out to Shango, shout out to Corey Curry Creations. Let's do this shit.
Man,
So all right.
that's right.
So let me see. Do we got a clip, right? We got some clips. So all right,
Yeah.
where were we? Um there was a situation that happened, right?
Yeah.
That resulted in the whole damn bridge collapsing. So all right, now where we was at, we was talking about what's significant about that route. So this route
Right.
is responsible for getting shit to where it needs to be, as all routes are. But this route
Right.
in particular, if it's not running, then that's a problem. That might cause for hyperinflation, right? And we've been
Right.
seeing all of these things in the past 2-3 months, well, past 2-3 years rather. that result in you paying more money for the same shit. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
it's not outside the coincidence. It's not just a coincidence. It's not outside the realm of reality that on the 47th anniversary of this bridge being in existence, lo and behold, it takes a L. You know what I'm saying? Two
Right.
L's actually. You know what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
4 7 is 11, right? You know, the L even. So it takes a L even, right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So let's look at this. Let's look at some clips here because we got to make sense of this here. You telling me,
Right.
all right? So Pope, you
Yes.
telling me that a shipping container ship, but knocked out a whole entire bridge?
A ship of shipping containers. Right.
That
So
all right? That to me almost sounds like some building 7 shit. I'm sorry. You know, we got 11 people coming in right now. Shout out to the 11 people, and we talking
right.
about some building 7 type
Man.
shit. You know what I'm saying? This is some building 7 type shit that happened on this bridge, you know, at
Right.
1:30 in the morning. So, did you seen the clip, right? You saw the clip, right?
Yes. Yes.
So from
The
your
one.
so all right, so from your analysis, you know, from your intricate analysis, how do you feel about this clip before we roll it? I know some people probably already seen it already, but we got like I think what two different angles, maybe.
Yeah. 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 Well, actually, we got like maybe three angles so far. But one thing about it is looking at that in itself. It's one thing you can't hide is the reflections.
Okay.
And one of the things that I noticed is that it's got emergency vehicles on the bridge ahead of time. So either they had prior knowledge of this, and I might be wrong, but it looked like a couple of vehicles up there. They couldn't have just had their hazard lights on. And from there, it looked real suspicious because you had trucks passing by. And notice I say trucks because I'm over here with five bridges. We got five bridges around here: Bay Bridge, Golden Gate Bridge. We got the San Mateo Bridge, Dumbarton, San Rafael, all that. Okay, but now one thing about it is if you can see it from the bridge, that means that the car wasn't that low. That the headlights, because headlights is low. A lot of people got cars that sit low and stuff like that. So when you're watching these vehicles cross, you can tell the difference between a truck or something else that's bigger. So just
Good point.
coming from that go ahead.
Yeah. No, I'm saying that's a
And,
good point.
right. So all the lights and stuff like that, that's in my opinion, the lights, of course, would have been sitting up there. And if you're sitting there with your hazard lights on, you can't see it from that angle.
Right.
So, I mean, as we watching this, it looked like that they was preparing for it to happen. Now, I say that to say that unless there was an emergency that happened and somebody jumped out, like an emergency vehicle happened to stop in the middle of the bridge. Now, because there's two sections to that bridge, it stops, and then there's traffic behind it, building behind it with other flashing lights. But then you got vehicles that are still trying to pass and go through. I wasn't on the bridge. I'm only looking at it from a distance, but I'm knowing what I'm observing. So in that, I mean, it looked as suspicious to me as I'm watching a very large ship try to hit this bridge, and there was so much more space. I could see if it was in between another ship passing by, or it was a buoy right next to it, or something that would guide it in there. I mean, bridge is one of the hardest things to hit because in open water, that's the biggest thing that's out there, so you can't miss it.
Yeah, you can't miss it. Right. Yeah,
Right. So it's like,
those are great points. Yeah, can't miss it.
right.
But yeah, I wasn't trying to cut you short though. But yeah, go.
Oh
Go ahead.
yeah. Yeah, but it's like, when you see people doing a driving training and stuff like that in the empty parking lot and hit the only pole that's sitting out there. You know what I mean? You could have missed everything else, but you hit the one thing that was out there. But
I
you
know
know,
one thing. I know one thing. I knocked my
right.
damn mirror off, and I hit a damn the side of a Mack truck, and
Mm,
it was the only vehicle on the whole road. So the only way that was possible is that I wasn't paying attention.
right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at my phone and I'm driving and I'm trying to adjust shit in my car, and boom,
Right.
motherfucker knocked my whole mirror off. Well, no, I knocked. See, look, I try to blame somebody. I knocked my whole mirror off because I wasn't paying
Right.
attention.
Right.
So at best, this motherfucker who drove into a whole bridge
Right.
wasn't paying attention. Well, sailed. You can't even say drove. Sailed into a fucking bridge, right? Or propelled
Right.
into a fucking bridge. Wasn't paying
Right.
attention. You know, that's like, why is this giving me Titanic vibes? You know, it's like, all
Right.
right, you motherfuckers was speeding towards iceberg in the middle of the night.
Right.
You know, but in this case, this iceberg, this obstruction is a big lit up iceberg. You know,
Right.
with big lights on it and shit. So how the fuck you ain't see that shit? You know, this seems to possibly be nefarious. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
let's air some of these clips, man, because we
Right.
look Debo stall him out. You know what I'm saying? We had to
Right.
get our
Right.
little stall on while we get our clips and PDFs and all that shit together. Slides as they call them. You know what I'm saying? We had to get all that together. So yeah, let's throw some footage up there so people can see what we talking about. You know what I mean? So let me open up my other joint. I gotta open up my remote controller. You know.
Right.
Hold on, I don't know. Somebody talking some Spanish gibberish. See, my fault for the for the Spanish gibberish. I don't know what that was. Somebody trying to sell me some shit. But
Whatever it is, we're live.
you know, that's what happens on the live. You know what I mean?
Right.
So all right, let me go in the room. Excuse my little echoage real quick. I'm gonna try to see if I can turn the mic off before I even come in that motherfucker. Hold up. Yeah, peace. Shit. That would be nice right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Right.
that'd be nice right about now. You know what I mean?
Right. Right. Oh, you got it. You booted me. All right,
My
we back. That's
fault.
good.
My fault. You know, struggle streaming. So all right,
Uh-huh.
we should have did it this way. We should have pulled up the slide, but fuck it. You know, we passed that point now. So let me
Right.
get to the video. I might have to pull up my old people glasses to look at this shit. You know what I mean?
There it is there. I should
Hold
have
on.
had my old people glasses on to start with.
Echo, hold on. Let me turn this down. All right.
And they're trying to look at this. All
All
right,
right, so
yes.
bridge right here. Now look, we might have to pause this shit a couple times. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think this is the footage that you sent me right here. I'm trying to
Yep.
see, can y'all help me to see where the fuck is the shipping container at? I see a obstruction to the left side of the screen right there,
Right.
close to the
Yep.
water. Maybe
Uh-huh. You still there? You blinked yourself? You popped out. See him in there? Hmm. You talking? Oh, there he is. He back? Bear with us. We live and direct. Buzzing back in. Okay, we having a little technical difficulty. Oh yeah. Now, as we sitting there watching this, we're gonna rewind it. On my end, I can't see the brother, so let me know if that's the same for you. What's going on with you? Top up. Oh, he's coming back in. There he is. All right, he's back.
technical difficulties is a motherfucker. I tell you. So
All right.
all right. Is the screen is the shit up on the screen again? All right, let me
Oh,
take it and put it
right.
back.
There it is. It's running back. One thing you can notice in there when they pop back up.
Why am I hearing shit? Somebody called. Look, somebody hated on me and called me while I'm doing a motherfucking stream, and it's like, why would you do that? You called me and fucked the whole broadcast up. You know what I mean?
Right.
All right, so look. Let's go into the other clip. So on my John, I'm not seeing it, so I'm gonna remove it from the studio. Try to make sense of what's going on here.
Okay.
Okay, so we had that bridge collapse, and I'm trying to figure out where the fuck is the video. Where's the shipping container at? So when and watching that video, did you see the shipping container? Because I didn't see it.
At the bottom left. Yeah, it was at the bottom left. Right next to the pillar. Right next to.
Okay,
yeah.
so that thing that's moving. All right, I see some shit moving right there. Now I see.
Yeah.
That's definitely a truck moving across the top of that bridge. That's like a big
Right.
ass truck. I can see that.
Right.
I see lights on the bridge. I see shit moving across the
at
bridge.
The halfway point. Right. At the halfway point where the red dot is at the middle, it keeps flashing at the center of the bridge. Right. To the right of that is some vehicles that are posted. They're stationary. They're not moving, but you can see the reflection on the waters. One thing you can't beat is the reflection.
Yeah, okay. I see right in the middle of the bridge is vehicles
yes.
sitting there. Why are they just sitting there?
Yes.
If anybody
exactly
knows
my point
about traveling across the bridge, you know you can't be sitting on the bridge unless you work for these people, unless you work with these people. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
You ain't just chilling on the bridge. They're gonna come and get you up off the bridge. You
right.
know what I mean? So something nefarious is going on here. You know what I mean? You know,
right.
So look, somebody just hit us with the sad face sticker.
right.
I don't know if that's for the people on the thing, or we got to step our game up. You know, either way, we're gonna step our game up. So in light of that, can we zoom in? Oh my God, look at this. Okay, so you see the ship fell, the bridge. Some of the bridge fell on the shipping container. You saw that?
Right.
Let's run it back a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you can. This is not a shipping container. It's
a ship of shipping containers.
It's a ship of shipping containers, right?
Yes.
Very heavy in the water, you know. So even though it's moving slow, it's moving with a lot of force. So that is one thing that to pinpoint, to highlight rather. You know what I mean?
Right.
And the thing is here is that, in your opinion, looking at this whole bridge, right?
Right.
Maybe that's like a super weak point there, but when I heard that this happened, I didn't think the whole bridge fell. I thought that maybe a chunk of it fell out. You know,
like the Bay
Bridge.
I
didn't know that this resulted in the whole entire bridge falling in.
Right.
Damn.
Right. Both sides. And the thing is,
wait. Let's go back a little bit because I seen it. Look onto the right hand side of the screen.
Yes.
On the right from me. But it seemed like there's a little micro explosion right there. Now, what could that have been? Keep looking.
That made it snap right there too.
On the opposite side of where the shipping container is. When that part of the bridge starts to give way, there's an explosion over there.
A little snap, huh?
Now I don't know what that could have been from. I'm not going to sit here to try to speculate, but it is something to pay attention to. So you see how the last piece is left? See that explosion? See the fire?
Yeah. Yeah.
What is that?
That's
very strange. I mean, it's what is inside of the bridge that would cause an explosion like that?
Yeah. And what was in the center of the bridge? Why were those people stopped at the middle of the bridge? Easy question. Because those and based on my perception from a distance, they'd have to be emergency vehicles to have that type of your hazard lights don't flash like that.
Yeah, and to have that kind of tenure on a bus, on a bridge, yeah, you have to be some type of personnel. You cannot just sit on. Most bridges have signs that say you cannot.
No stopping.
No stopping. You can't
Yes.
just be parked on the bridge. So we know at best they was police or some type of personnel that was working out there.
Right.
So it's safe to assume that they was doing something to this bridge. Whether they want to tell us that something, whether they want to tell us that or not, clearly they was
Right.
doing something to this bridge. It
Right.
wasn't just a regular day, la la la, and here come this big ass thing and just fuck everything up. Clearly
Right.
they was doing something on the bridge. Now I'm not gonna sit here and tell you, oh they was doing something nefarious. I don't know what they was doing. I wasn't there.
Right.
But
But
it's
they were
clear
there.
to see that if somebody was on that bridge doing something.
Right.
Now would they
And they
care
were.
to tell us what that something is?
And how come that much ahead of time? How come they were there that ahead of time before the bridge actually had the ship there?
I don't know how the fuck that happened. But we
You almost
troubleshooting.
say there it is there.
I don't know how the fuck that shit happened. That shit just came in sideways. Hold up. Let me fix this shit real quick.
And we sharing quotes and taking notes. So,
but but what is that explosion that y'all saw? I'm curious
right.
what the fuck that is.
Right.
What was that explosion? Why? We got some questions here. What is that explosion? Why was that shit sitting there like that? Why them people sitting there like that? And how? And just for the sake of conversation, does an incident like that result in the whole
A
bridge
whole bridge.
collapse? Like,
right.
This should remind me of Angry Birds. Like I'm watching Angry Birds or something. Like, do I hit the bridge at a structural weak point that results in the whole entire bridge collapsing? Is that my goal here today? You know what I'm saying? Or somebody's goal here?
And another goal? How about missing something on a big open ocean? There had to be. I mean, are all the devices down that tell you that you're about to hit an inanimate object, a non-moving object? For those that may not know inanimate. So I mean, you have all kind of devices, even if you can't see straight through the windshield yourself or whatever that thing has on the front of it. But if you can't see ahead of you, there should be some devices that tell you that you're about to run into something from a distance. I mean, this is reminiscent. I know that something was coming back the opposite direction. It's all on camera. One thing about it, it's all on camera. You know what I'm saying? Like, and
now, if I'm not mistaken, this is like one of these type of bridges that are streaming like 24/7 now. They have that what is it? What is it? The kind of footage, the security
bridge view.
CTC footage. So
Yeah. CCTV.
Possibly this bridge has some CTC footage that we probably can look at. Now I got another headline that says I just got another bulletin from video shows moment of bridge collapsing after collision. So I think that's what we just looking at, and again, this story is relatively new, so that's why we wanted to jump right on it, because sometimes so much stuff going on in life, we can't really address shit when we want to, and that's why we got to go back into this Puff Daddy situation, back into this Moscow situation, and do it right. So it's one thing about doing it first, but then it's another thing to do it right. So when we do stuff, we try to do it right,
Right.
So all right, let's get this video up here. Now I had to correct it because it was sideways, so it was sitting sideways with some Paul Wall shit. We had to fix it. That shit is fucking
One thing
crazy.
they tried to avoid was showing you what was on top of the bridge.
Like we said, it's safe to assume that there is some CTC footage of the actual traffic on the bridge. So we have to try to see if that footage is possible. Would they even release that footage? Because then that would kind of tell us what is actually happening on the bridge at the moment of this collapse. But that last little part right there, let me see if I can pause it. I want to pause it right there so we can see.
Yep. Shout out to Melvin.
That's an explosion right there.
Right. Melvin
You know,
Kisto said, right. He said diversionary tactics.
right. So this
Yeah.
definitely could be a diversionary tactic. You know, from all of the shit that's
Right.
going on. You know what I'm saying? Um,
Right.
I see how even with that Trump shit, I peep how quietly they reduced that motherfucking $500 million he had to pay to 175. They did that real quietly.
Right.
I don't see. I don't. That's not breaking news. They said all that. They said all this shit about he got to pay this millions of dollars, right? Hundreds of millions of dollars. But
Right.
right at the last minute, they drop it to a third of that shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Less than
So
that.
we're not
I
going to
mean,
break you. Right.
but
We're not going to
that's
break
just
you.
right. But that's just that just go to show you how these motherfuckers bait and switch with shit. But I had to pause the shit on the screen right here because all right, we see a lot of skyline lights, but we
Right.
also see that last little piece of bridge that's left.
Yeah.
It's an explosion. It's an explosion around that. So
Right.
if anybody out there could would be so kind to help us to explain why is that explosion right there? Because this is supposed to be
Right.
the bridge collapse. Is that
Mm-hmm.
maybe this is some building 7 type shit where they laid some charges or something? You know what? Let's I'm gonna let the video play because I think it's gonna loop back a couple times. But in y'all opinion, do you think that this bridge fell too easily? This
Hey,
bridge
I say that it got hit right at the right spot.
this is a steel bridge, by the way. Now the bridge obviously is extremely heavy, so it can this structural damage can result in a cataclysmic failure like this. I'm not trying to rule that out. You know what I'm saying? But so this is the aftermath where the bridge is just completely gone. There is no more bridge connecting this water. That's crazy.
They're going to show how many people was on it.
Well, they so far
Yeah.
they said they saved 2 people. Now, from what we saw, there was definitely was more than 2 people on that bridge. Now
There
they're
was
calling
hella
this
vehicles. Yeah.
they're calling this a mass casualty event. That's what they're calling this. So just to be clear, they already saying that a lot of people probably checked out in this situation. You know what I
Right.
mean? Now we don't know, but just from looking at the footage that we saw, we can continue to look at. We can give an estimate of about maybe 20 people.
Yeah.
If we would just say that it was one
Bro, you
person in
can't really see
video.
nothing, but
So this is some footage from some people actually on the
half
ground.
of the fucking bridge is gone.
Right.
So they're talking about now what
And they
this girl
won't
is saying here.
focus.
She said half the bridge is gone. So I'm kind of confused because from what we're seeing, the whole entire bridge collapsed. But she's saying that
But
and that
unless we're only seeing one part of the bridge,
that could
because
be a
like the
good.
Bay
That could be
Bridge in San Francisco, yeah, because there's 2 different sections of the Bay Bridge. You know what I mean? There's like a split in the middle where there's like, like a tunnel type thing in between there. And then once you're on the other side, that's a whole nother section of the bridge, but it's still part of the Bay Bridge.
Okay. So maybe that's like
It's
some
not just
halfway
one
point.
long ass.
Maybe there's like
Right.
some halfway point that touch back down on the land or something.
Right. But
But
we don't
if
know.
it
We're not from Maryland. So,
right.
be out there, reach out, let us know.
Yeah, so that video came from the Citizens app. Some people in Maryland, down
Right.
on the scene just as I would be if that shit happened here,
Right.
And I guess we already had some kind of our own little situation like that here when I-95 collapsed, and allegedly
Right.
some dude who's a veteran driver just drove into the bridge and blew up the whole fucking. You know what I mean? Sounds suspect to me. It looks suspect. We did a video on it. But all right. So let's. I'm gonna look at this next video clip right I got here because I think some of these videos. I'm trying to. A lot of these drones look the same in my phone, but I'm not sure. We just gotta go through them and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But this shit looks suspect.
Yep. Hey, one thing they didn't do, look, real quick, one thing they didn't do would show how many vehicles were above the bridge, were on the bridge.
Right.
It cut off right where the explosion happened.
Those vehicles are so we was to count those vehicles that was right in the middle of the bridge. That probably was like 3 to 4 vehicles that was right there in the middle of the bridge. You know what I'm saying? Now remember when I was
Yeah, they
asking
cut
you
it.
about because I couldn't picture how this shit fell, and I'm like, well,
Look at the lights flashing on top. Yeah, the vehicles on top of the bridge, like, you know, they only give you a split second before they start showing the collapse, and then they don't. And as soon as that little mini explosion in that corner over there, then that's when they cut it off and they splice it and then loop it.
I want to move those graphics out the way so we can look at the bridge more clearly.
So the original video that we were showing, that ain't got the graphics in there. Oh, you can remove the graphics in that one.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to put the video because that's from Citizens app, so they got words on the
Okay,
screen.
yeah, for sure.
Talking with what we seeing. Okay, so I want to pause it. Can I pause it?
Yeah. Those are vehicles on the bridge right now.
All right, so far they said 2 people been saved from this
Right.
from this event that has the potential to be considered a mass casualty event.
Right.
Now, if anybody would just look, you know, get on your old man shit or your old woman shit, get cozy, look at the screen, pull your bifocals out or whatever, and see if you can count how many potential headlights that you see commuting across this bridge prior to it collapsing. You know, and this is like seconds
Right.
before. You know what I mean? Because
They said it's 4 lanes. They said it's 4 lanes. So that's 2 on each side. So if those emergency lights on the bridge, if that's blocking 1 lane, then that's, you know what I mean? We can do the math on that too, because we can clearly see that the vehicles are on the bridge. There's more than 1 vehicle too, because one thing about it, you can see the reflection off the water, because the water don't lie. You know what I mean? Like those red reflections are reflecting off the water while we're watching the video. You feel what I'm saying? Like that's part of it too.
right,
They didn't edit that out.
All right, so this is
Welcome.
like one of those. All right, there you go. So shit, that motherfucker who's on the Mack truck, he was lucky as fuck. He got off of there before that shit
Yeah.
collapsed.
Right.
And then come another Mack truck. That's another Mack truck right there.
Right. And you're seeing the flashing lights up there. Those are vehicles.
Right.
We're gonna go ahead and say them for surely.
Yeah, how like you said, that one light right there blinking fast as shit.
Yeah.
That's definitely some type of service vehicle. Like, you know,
Right.
one of the pickup trucks with the orange lights on them and shit. You know what I mean?
Right. And it's red because it's matching the red on the from the light.
Right. Like you know, you see the
That's
water.
emergency.
Look at the water. You can see how many lights is dancing across that water. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you can't see the bridge. If the bridge is hard to make out, look at the water and see how many reflections of light that you see in the water. So it's a nice amount of people on this bridge.
Yep.
Oh my God. Now, all right. Now, mind you, you keep looking at the water. You see that those lights that we seen flashing in the water,
Yeah.
they're not
Yep.
pertinent like that anymore. Now you only see that one red light that was flashing, and apparently they must have either. Oh, that's the end of the video. I thought they cut it off. So
Right.
keep talking about. But yeah, that shit, man. Listen, do you? I think that this is some suspect shit right here. I think they did this shit intentionally. That's what I
There's
think.
no way that they couldn't see that.
I can't
Yeah.
prove it. I can't prove it, at least not yet. But I know just looking at this shit, it doesn't seem legitimate like what they saying, you know.
Right.
This shit container, that shit container caused all of that shit.
Yep. And we seeing it as it is. You can see the vehicles. See the flashing one. And the ship, the container, the ship is just coming through.
And, all right, where is it? Where does it hit at? Does it hit the base?
Yeah, it hits right. It hits right at the perfect spot in order for it to take it down.
So, all right, that's right, like off to the left side of the screen, right there. I'm looking
Right. That big black.
I see the
That black
black
section
line.
right there. Right. That same pillar.
That's crazy. Yo.
Oh, because if he would have hit the other one, it wouldn't have made the rest of the bridge collapse. If he would have so happened to accidentally hit the other side.
But see, the thing is that all right, him hitting that post right there.
Yeah.
I can see how that could make the bridge collapse altogether, right?
Of course.
But
right.
The one thing is that other post that's coming out the water right there. No, come on, dog. Listen, no. That shit's suspect, B. That wasn't from that shit. Okay, that shipping container was there. We got to see a different angle.
Yeah.
It was there, but it didn't cause
Right.
that because you would have seen it shaking that bridge or something. That shit just completely blew out, yo.
Yeah, run it back.
Run that shit back. Hold up. See, this is why we gotta pay attention to details. A lot of times people, we gonna do the work that y'all not gonna do. You know, so we looking at this shit. Keep looking at that mass right there.
Right.
Now, you will see as that brig passes under there. That's when the whole shit. Now keep looking right there. You see, let's see if we can even see an explosion right there. Because if I see an explosion, then I'm done with this. It's like, no, Nizzo. That shit. Just looking back at this shit looks suspect. Because it's there, right? So at what point does it make contact with this bridge? And it's like, it fell too freely. It wasn't like a rupture and it shook and gave way. You get what I'm saying? It didn't rip into it. It just fell. It just fell out.
It bumped it and then it fell out. So it nobody was hurt on the bridge on the ship.
Well, did the containers, maybe the containers fell into the water or something. You know what I mean?
Something.
All right, let me see.
I can't get over those lights up there. This vehicle's on that thing.
All right, you got this big John coming through. All right, you get close to the thing. We can see that.
Yeah.
But you see how I was like, all right, it's there, but it seemed like it's taking long as shit for the, like, we looking at this video like, damn, like it's taking forever to get to that point, right? But it's up under the bridge, you know?
Right.
So it's like, where does it make contact at? You know, that's the moment we looking for, the moment of impact. You just really what you see is you see this brig under, and you know, significantly. Okay, look, you see something fell in the water. Did you see that? Damn, I wish we could make this shit bigger. So if something fell into something, so if you see something fall in the water, and then yeah,
you can make it bigger if you take us out of it.
Okay, let me try that.
If you just make the video full screen.
How the fuck do you do that?
Just click on the video with the 3 dots.
Oh, okay. All right, let's try to make this shit bigger. No. Let's just saying some other shit. All right. Let me try it here.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, yeah, and oh, that's nice.
No, I ain't.
Good look.
That joke got all up on his nose and shit. All
Oh,
right,
yep.
how the
I had you flipping shit out. That's
oh yeah,
good.
they kicked
Struggle
me out.
streaming live and direct.
Yeah, they kicked me out the room.
Right.
So,
Top of the morning, man.
yeah,
Right.
early bird gets the worm, right? All right, so let me see
That's
here.
right.
Let me cut this microphone off.
I think it's like the last one is all right.
This joint right here. All right. So yeah, we
Mhm.
supposed to
What's going
yeah,
on with you?
watching
Top
the
of the morning.
messages.
Grand Rising. Thank you for joining. Ah, there it is.
All right. Now you see that smoke right there from the from the from the bridge.
Yep. You can see the
But
vehicles.
you can see it go under the
Right.
bridge. So that was under the bridge. You seen the lights kind of you got dark. So that's the shadow of being under the. It's actually under the bridge at this point. But if you keep looking right there where that black mass is, you see how it's passing. You see the light start to shine back through. So it's passing by right now. You're gonna see something fall into the water at that point. Just keep looking. You're gonna see something fall into the
Yep.
water, and then that shit just results in the whole bridge falling. Now look, you see that light that was blocked is now shining bright again. So
Yeah.
the brig has passed under the bridge now. You see what I'm saying? It's looking sus, man. You know? All right, you see that? Something fell in the water, and then that shit fell all on the back of that shit. No. You know what this shit look like to me, cuz this shit look like that they blew they blew something up or knocked out that beam right there as that while that thing was close to it, because it don't look like it don't look like you don't see the bridge shake, you don't see like it, like I'm saying, like knocking down it, you don't see it like pushing or burrowing past that
Bend
beam.
before it breaks. Yeah. Bend
Yeah,
before it breaks.
you see some shit fall in the
Stretch
water.
before it breaks.
Let's go back. You see some shit fall in the water, and then it should just now look, see that shit splash in the water. No, no.
Uh-huh.
Now, all right, look, this how you know that was some bullshit, because if that's the point of impact, you don't see the fracture point at the point of impact. You see how that whole piece of the bridge fell straight into the water? It
Right.
fell straight into the water, and it landed on top of the bridge. You saw that? Now you think about it. That landed across the back part of the bridge. Now, if you
Yeah.
saying that this shit drove into this shit and knocked it out, right? If that's what happened, then it wouldn't have fell on the back part of it. This shit would have went into it like
Mm.
boom, knocking it down. You know what I'm saying? And then you see the shit falling and shit all like that. But
Right.
you don't see that. This shit look we from this clip that we seeing right here. The structural
Right.
fracture point seems to be to the left of the camera, outside of the scope of what we're looking at right here. So we can't actually see where this fractional damage comes from looking at this shot. The only thing we can see is that the
It
bridge,
disconnected from there.
yeah, you see where the smoke
Yeah. In
is?
order to, yeah.
All the way
Yeah.
to
Yep.
the
Yep. Yep.
left.
So like,
Now,
yeah. Yep.
it just keep looking in that area right there.
Mm-hmm.
Cause that's where the fail comes from. It starts to
Okay.
fall. The bridge falls from left to right.
Yeah.
But
Let's see.
it fell on the bridge right there. the brig didn't knock down the bridge. The bridge seemed to
Yeah.
have fallen from left to right, like
Yeah.
it gave in.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Right. That only what's in the view of the camera is what was supposed to be shown. It would have showed the whole rest of the bridge if they're showing the actual thing. Shout out to y'all that's tuning in right now.
So I'm gonna try to move it
Hope
up.
and ENT, Red Pill Rescue.
Let's see if we can get it right on point.
Right.
Now, all right. This is 1 minute and 17 seconds into this clip right here. You know, I just had to point that
Right.
shit out. So 1 minute and 17 seconds into the clip is when the damage starts. See that?
Uh-huh.
That shit fell in the water, boom. Right? And was now, all right, damn, we can't. I wish I could play it in slow motion. So all right. See how now look. Look, let me pause
Yeah, it
right
broke right there. It caved. It caved right over there.
now all the way now. It's now you see what we can see where the brig is, and you see
Yeah.
how the bridge is starting to fall, but it's still intact.
Yeah.
And the weak point is the midpoint of that.
Other
Far, like
part. Yeah, for
to the
sure. It's
left part,
collapsing in the wrong spot.
but the
Right.
actual
It's literally
collapse of this bridge happens from the left where we can't see it.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, because it does disconnect from right there. If we're breaking it down correctly.
Right. We're doing the best we can with this shit. You know, maybe I might have to pull it out, edit it, and you know what? I could do that real quick. So all right, let me try my hand at this. You know, we struggle streaming live. So I'm gonna do it.
Look, and if you look at right now, look at the picture now. Like from where it supposedly hit, there's no damage to that part of the bridge. It's not even
Right. There's
bent
no
or
there's
nothing
no
else.
damage to that part of the bridge yet. So this
Right.
some bullshit. You know, just looking at what we're looking at, and you know, all for all intents and purposes, I'm gonna slow it down and we're gonna look at it in slow mo. So I'm
Yeah.
edit the
And wouldn't
video.
it have been out? It would have been outwards instead of downwards, right?
Man, that shit. Look,
If
this
it
right
hit
here.
going on,
Look,
momentum would have.
if anybody who gives a fuck about this shit, screenshot that shit right there. Because right now we dealing with physics right here. So you see the
Right.
bridge, right? You see everything right there. But the point of impact that they say is the point of impact is still intact.
Right.
Something wrong with that right there. Something wrong with that, what you're telling me, because that don't make sense right there.
And it's not bending outward. If if the momentum of it is driving it forward, it would bend outwards instead of downwards, right?
I mean, I'm about to get on. I'm about to edit this joint up. Hold on. Let's see if we can get it on the slow mo.
Hey, we're not structural engineers. If any of y'all happen to be engineers or remember from another incident in which some things collapsed.
Oh man, hold up. Yeah, now look, listen. We about to, man. Listen, hold up. I got it right here. Let me put this up over here because now that I zoomed in on it, right? I zoomed in on the shit, and I got it isolated. Oh yeah. Oh man, yeah. We gotta look at this shit because this somebody is the unluckiest motherfucker in the world. Somebody was driving across the bridge at the point that shit started to collapse. They was right over top of the shit. So somebody is right over top of the shit. Let me edit this shit up right for y'all. All right, hold up. Let me see. Oh no, that nigga made it. Damn, he made it. All right, so let me hold on 1 second. Oh, no, he ain't make it. Damn. All right, listen, y'all, listen.
Being hit by a ship. Mayor Brandon Scott.
We're using all of our assets.
We use our helicopters to aid our divers and our teams. We were able to use sonar. That's how we know that there's vehicles in the water. So we'll use every asset and every piece of technology and equipment that we have.
2 people have been recovered, 1 in serious condition, but it isn't clear how many are missing. Construction workers were also on the bridge.
Okay,
CBS
that
Baltimore
confirms what we're
reporter
talking
Mike
about.
Halgren.
Very cold water search and rescue crews have a lot of challenges ahead as they deal with that, as they deal with the high tide coming in, low visibility in the water, and they're using a lot of technology and expertise.
The NTSB has also launched a GO team to investigate the collapse. CBS News Special Report. I'm Cammie McCormick. And we will take you live to the search and rescue effort in Baltimore when we check in with KYW's Tim Jimenez, who's at the scene. That's ahead. But first, we bring you traffic and weather on the news as we take you right now to the PJ Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center. Justin Dropic.
Yeah, so all right. So the news confirms what we just said. We can see the construction workers out there. So if y'all thought we was off base with that, you know, you hit that, you had to eat crow on that shit. All right, so this is a strange
So
thing.
is that a coincidence that they had construction going on?
Now, all right, I'm gonna cut the joint right here so we can look at it properly. Right. All right, let me cut it right there. Boom. Yeah, so I'm gonna slow it down. I'm gonna put it in slow motion.
Grand Rising. Yep. Y'all got birds tweeting and shit this morning.
Yeah, I'm down here by the water and shit. You know what I mean?
Nice. Congratulations.
Yeah. In the peace
I
and
ain't had no pigeons come to my windowsill yet. So. Right. Congratulations. That's the blessing. We got to count our blessings too while we're in the middle of doing this. Shout out to y'all that's tuning in. Grand Rising. On top of the morning. If it's morning, where you at? Live and direct. Philadelphia, California. Now here in San Francisco, California.
Oh my God.
Brother out there in Philadelphia. And we give this to you. Hit that like, subscribe. What's some other things they tell you to do?
Yeah,
hit the notification.
Where they say like, subscribe, share if you care, share if you don't care. I don't give a fuck. Shit.
share if you.
Yeah. All right, so I got 1 incoming video and the 2 incoming videos. So I just had to edit this joint up so I could put it in slow motion and zoom in on the point of impact. Now, when you're looking directly at the point of impact, you know, you can get a better understanding, I would say, of what the fuck happened. You know what I'm saying? So this shit does look a little suspect, man. I'm gonna just say that. It look a little suspect. You know, even looking at it closer, it's like, damn, you know, really? All right, let me see. Go in here.
So looking out on that like button. Giving it to you as it comes in.
Bet. Here we go. Crop that joint out. So it's funny because I was editing the video, but I was recording my screen at the same time and shit. So the screen record now. This joint probably don't got no sound to it, but we don't need no sound anyway. So fuck it. Or maybe it do got sound. Maybe I recorded us talking right now. So you know, for the you know, this is a struggle stream disclaimer. You know, just bear with us if the shit come out with some weird audio playback or something. You know what I mean? But you know, the point of why we're looking at this video is to see what happened at the point of impact. So what happens from what I'm looking at, it looked like this support beam was completely taken out by this brig. But the thing that's strange is because we all watched this video of this brig going past. If this is the beam, it went past the beam like this. So as it goes past, it makes its way past the beam. Something happens back here, and the whole shit just fall out. So we trying to figure out how the fuck that happened. Because from the way that I recorded it just now, you would think that it's driving like it's coming this way, but we all saw it come towards us. Yeah, I mean away from us, not away.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right. It actually collapsed. Oh, that's
okay. All right.
Right.
Here we go. So the news did confirm that it was some service workers on the bridge. You know, that is one thing to point out. I'm gonna point that out again. You know what I mean? Now look. Let me turn this joint down real quick. That shit getting this echo.
Welcome. Grand Rising.
Now look, you see that shit? Now look, I ain't even gotta touch the controls because you know this is gonna like we can really look at this now. So this is the point of impact. Now mind you, I didn't reverse the thing or nothing. Now you see how that shit turned into that?
Oh wow.
Did you see that? This shit turned like it looked like the thing as it's going past, it turned into it. You see what I'm saying? So it didn't run into it like
run it back.
We all thinking like all of us are thinking that this thing ran into it. Now mind you, this is now remember this light right here. See that light that brought the brightest light right there to the left?
Yeah.
The brig passed that light. Remember from the whole part of this video. This is after that point, as it made its way under the bridge. So where you see that light is the light on the brig. You see what I'm saying? So it's under the bridge, or at least it's made its way past the bridge already. The support beam is right down. You can see like with the bridge, the support beam is right in front of it. Now look, you see that? See how it's like it got blown out or something? It looked like something fell in the water. That's what I said, but it looked like it got blown out.
Yeah, you got to hit that directly.
See that? Look.
Yeah, you got to hit that directly.
But how did it do that? How did it do that? If from what we're looking at, you would think that it was like this thing is coming straight. You know what I'm saying? But it's not coming straight.
Right.
It was driving away. So how did it do that? It's crazy.
Yeah. No, that's a bit
now,
much.
You see how
my mama say that's a bit much.
Man, listen, and something ain't right with that structural damage, man. Look, I thought the video was longer than that, but let's go back. Let's go back.
Yeah. Then we can run the original video too, because then that one has the time on it.
As much as I could, you know what I mean? But
Yeah, for sure.
Look at this shit, man. Oh, matter of fact, all right, look, just to give us a better understanding, let's go back and let's play the other clip, so you can see that this shit passed it already. So, all right, it made its pass already. So how did it do that? You know, let's go back to the top of the video. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm trying to explain right now. How the fuck did that happen? If the brig is moving that way, see, look, it's moving that way.
Blocking the light. It's blocking the light.
So it looked almost like this shit turned directly into the shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? See the brig is moving away.
It went directly there.
It's moving away from that.
Yeah.
So what the fuck did it turn? It looked like it turned and drove right into it or something. You know what I'm saying? Now look again, you know, just proving the point. Look, it's going away. Now watch that light gonna pop out. See the light pop back out? It's going away from there. So how do we explain this? This is really crazy. Like, listen, this is not just some error. This is not. Oh damn, you know what? I wasn't looking where I was going. This shit seems to like it
Right.
made its pass already. It seemed like it said, no, let me line up and run into this shit. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
How did it? What did this shit? What the fuck are we just looking at right here? Did this shit just make a motherfucking U-turn in the water and drive into this shit? What the fuck just happened? Did that shit look like the front of it? Now I could be wrong. Maybe that's the back of it, but that looks like the front. Am I right or wrong?
It's supposed to be the front.
It looked
Supposed
like
to be
the
driving
front,
into it.
but I don't know if it's the front. But look, I would even go as far as to say that looked like somebody sitting up in the front right there. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
I'm not going to say that. But based upon what we're looking at, you can see the light on the brig, right? That I would assume that's the front. Maybe they have a light on the back too, because what we saw that John going past that. So right now it looked like it came back and drove back into it. Now you see how it was falling towards the right. So he came from the left, but it started bending towards the right. So it's like the force is coming this way. You see what I'm saying? It's coming. Now we saw the brig go this way, or this way, right? But the force of it is coming this way. See that? That's strange. That to me, that seems to be intentional. And just to keep it all the way funky, I can't see how this is the point of impact. Before I was saying, remember before I said the point of impact seems to have came from a spot off camera, and that's still that part of that theory is still feasible, where this could have been, some type of demolition destruction type of shit that happened coming across. So maybe out off side of the camera, maybe at the start of the bridge on the left side, possibly we don't know what happened over there at this point. We can only see what's happening right here. So maybe something did give way or blow up or whatever right there, causing the structural damage to go from left to right. You know what I'm saying? But just looking at this point of impact right here, you can see that those, I guess you consider would say support beams for the bridge, they fall to the right. So yeah, so they fall to the right. You know what I'm saying? So looking at that from this perspective and it's coming this way, that would imply that the force of the brig is moving like as if it was coming back towards us, even though we saw it moving away from us. So that's what makes this whole situation, kind of nefarious, I would say. You know what I mean? Now just look at it again. Okay, my fault. My fault.
Good.
I was hitting the shit by accident. So, all right, now you see how the shit is bending toward. Look, see how it's falling this way.
Yeah. There was a guy in there.
I don't know if that is a person. I can't say. It does look. It doesn't. It does look like it's a person though, don't it?
Yeah. Yep. And the light went out.
Yeah. I don't know, but see that doesn't. We got to go back and watch the shit again because this is
Right.
disturbing. This is really disturbing when you really because you're trying to make sense of how the fuck did you do this? It's not like he just drove straight into it. That's not what we're witnessing. This person didn't just drive straight into this support beam, not paying attention. Because again, look at this is him passing, or this person. I don't know if it's a him or her or what, or a robot or whatever. But this is the shit passing.
Right. So why were the construction workers on the bridge?
That had yet to been divulged.
Yeah, I'm looking at their positioning because they're from the middle of the bridge to the right. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just sitting here watching like what they're doing. Besides taking up a whole lane. on that side.
And in 2021, in COVID, the agency said no.
Just like the boy said, this is a distraction. It's a distraction of a distraction
Right,
of a distraction. Everything that you're
right,
seeing on TV and on the news and all of it's a distraction. All of it's a script,
right,
you know. And that's the thing that we pointing out with covering, these situations, and like I said, we're gonna touch back on the other shit too. And even better, we can tie it all in and show you how it's all connected. You know what I'm saying? Because
right,
it's like all right, like this right here. We looking at this right here, but this is the surface story. But even a different angle on this is that this happened 47 years after this bridge was created, because this bridge was created 47 years ago in March of 1977. So is it just a coincidence
right,
that in March of 2024, 47 years after, and of course we know these people love that number 47. The square and the compass is set at 47 degrees on the Masonic logo. You know what I'm saying? 4 and 7 make 11. If you're always watching the news like
right,
we do, by now you should see how they play with that number 11 all the damn time. You know what I'm saying? So
right, right,
these things are encoded. And that code that is something that connects all of these stories. You know what I'm saying? You might even find the same number sequence interwoven in each one of these stories. So even though we do have something that obviously seems like it's foul play here, but
right,
the service story will lead you to believe that somebody just did something stupid randomly. But when you have what's that Panoma University, they say that the number 47 is the most quintessential random number in the universe, right? And they point out how all of these things are just so happen to be 47. And the thing is that you gotta ask yourself is how many times is a coincidence possible before it's mathematically impossible? You know what I'm saying? They keep force feeding us this 47, 74, like he told you. What's the birth date of this country? You know what I'm saying? Think about it. July 4th, 4-7 or 7-4, depending on how you look at it. So you might without even realizing it, you have been inundated or surrounded with this 47 symbolism and you don't even realize it. So something as arbitrary as this right here, this unfortunate event that, may have possibly taken some people's lives, still has that spook like stain on it of 47. You know what I'm saying? So that's something that you definitely should not overlook, and not let the surface story, trip you up or make you forget that. You know what I'm saying? Because it ain't. I'm telling you, and you can take this to the bank. It ain't no coincidence that this bridge is 47 years old and it just so happened to collapse in the same month that it was created 47 years ago. That ain't no motherfucking coincidence, cuz we might see if we can see while Pope is out shopping, maybe you can come back with some video clip of this, these people talking about the creation of this bridge. Or we might even have to do a follow up on this to fully understand who is this person, who the bridge is named after. What does that have to do with? Does that have any significance? Does that have to do with anything? You know what I'm saying? Let me see if I can get this slide up here real quick, so we can revert back to the video. But I want to get this slide up here on the screen. That sounds crazy. Right. Francis Scott Key. Who is Francis Scott Key? That's something that I want to look into. Who the fuck is Francis Scott Key? Okay, so he's an attorney or a former attorney. He's long dead now, right? So they say it's a cargo ship, right? So I'm gonna see if I can get some of these pictures here that I'm looking at this situation. So they got updates allegedly. This shit is crazy. The crazy thing is, this never ends. Come off us now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing. Call for your free information kit. Dang. 800-329-2121. Okay. That's 800-329-2121. 800-329-2121. That is crazy. Looking at this shit is fucking crazy, yo. Prices will no longer be $1 at the dollar store. We'll explain coming up right after a check of traffic. So I'm gonna put together a slide with some of these images. Dang. Now look, why would these people? Now again, if you know anything about, we talk about the shit on this page. Why would these people make a 44-second video clip about this shit? 44 is the kill number. You know what I'm saying? That's the number that's associated with killing, murder, ritual murder. You know what I'm saying? You know, so it's like, man, that's the nefarious signature right there. You know. But yeah, I'm gonna put together a slide real quick. I'm gonna download this video, and I'm gonna put together another little slide. So a couple slides and some images that they're releasing now. That is daytime now. This shit is fucked up. God damn. All right, so that's the same. That's the same clip that I got. Yeah, that shit is crazy.
All right, there you go. All right.
It's really crazy. Fire and shit. Like, what's the fire about?
Right. What?
But I wanted to look into who is Francis Scott Key. Now, all right, the FBI said that, you sound like a robot a little bit. Now they said that.
What about now? Can you hear me now?
They said there's no. Yeah, you sound better now. They said there's no credible information to suggest any ties to terrorism at this time. That's what the FBI is saying. Oh my God. These images is vicious, dog. $125,000 a year. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News. That's your money news now on KYW with Bloomberg. But I want to look into briefly who is Francis Scott Key.
Besides
I ain't hear what you said. Your connection a little janky, man. You know, we struggle screaming. Okay, so the Star Spangled Banner.
Right.
So
okay.
So Star Spangled Banner.
Yeah.
This dude is best known for that. He's the author of the national anthem, the Star Spangled Banner. Let's talk about that for a minute. What does that mean? What does that mean for America? You know what I'm saying? The bridge that was named after the fourth United States U.S. attorney, right? Who was in office from 1833 to 1841. You know, what does that mean? Now, this the dude who wrote the Star Spangled Banner. Now, if I'm not mistaken, he wrote, if he wrote the Star Spangled Banner, then that means that he wrote that, he's responsible for that third verse that talks about the blood of slaves and shit. Now they said that he publicly criticized, free legal representation to some slaves seeking freedom. You know what I'm saying? Now, if that's true, then that makes perfect sense why this dude wrote that third verse in the first place. So this Star Spangled Banner shit that they make you stand up for in school and shit. The bridge that collapsed is named after the dude who wrote that shit. What does this mean for America? Does that mean that America's bridge is about to collapse? Let's look at another angle like this. Let's say that the news was a symbolic storytelling event. And let's say that the things that happen on the news were to sagaciously hint at things that could possibly or are going to happen. Almost of a way of paying a karmic debt, allegedly. Let's entertain that idea for a second. So if somebody was trying to tell you something by using imagery or using events, what would that mean for America? What does that mean for America that the Francis Scott Key Bridge has collapsed? Does that mean that America is going to collapse? I don't know. But I know that's something to think about. I know how these people get down. I know how these people get down. We all know how these people get down. They get down on some weird shit that be on angles.
Hey, Lit.
Huh?
Hey, Lit. Mark said ship to warn them cross-propellant collision was posing a threat.
I mean, this could be another way for them to do another money grab. They can say, hey, look, this is why we got to give more money to Ukraine. Who knows? I don't know.
Right. They said they lost propulsion.
We just try to make sense of the things that they show us. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because when they do things in a nefarious way, and we catch on to them, we try to make sense of the superstructure of what is being shown to us. On a surface level, okay, this is an unfortunate event, but what does it mean in an esoteric fashion, in a symbolic fashion? What does it mean?
What's the symbolism behind the situation?
When you throw in that Star Spangled Banner shit and the 47, it makes me think. Well, what are you trying to say? You know what I'm saying? A bridge collapsed, but not just any bridge. The Francis Scott Key Bridge.
Yep. Let me see if I got a video too. I know I grabbed a couple this morning. We was already on it.
Talk about it. Look, right on it. Look.
2 people have been rescued with a search continuing for 6 others. SEPTA says it's resolved a signal issue that caused problems during last night's commute. The Supreme Court hearing arguments that could restrict access.
So they're concluding that it was only 6 others? That was on the bridge?
We know that it was more than that.
Yeah.
Just from the video that we looked at, we know there was more than that.
Just the vehicles alone had more people. If there was construction on that bridge, then there was more people on there. There was more than 6 people working on that bridge.
CBS News.
Listen.
CBS News special
They're making this easy for us.
A desperate search continues after a massive bridge collapse in Baltimore early this morning. Maryland Transportation Secretary Paul Wiedefeld says 2 people were rescued from the river, 1 in very serious condition.
6 are being searched for right now. 1 is was taken to the hospital, and 1 is not in the hospital that we're speaking to.
He says all of the missing are construction workers who were on the Francis Scott Key Bridge fixing potholes when a Singapore-flagged container ship hit a bridge support, triggering the disaster. Maryland Governor Wes Moore says the ship's mayday alerted officials to a power problem and allowed them to limit traffic on the bridge before the collapse.
This is a place that is a
Oh,
commute route for over 30
wow.
Mm-hmm.
Marylanders
What a
every single day.
Yep.
coincidence.
Conveniently. Yeah. Conveniently.
Got you niggas on tape, nigga.
It's
Right.
News
Whoops.
Special Report. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
Yeah.
And we'll take you live to
Yep.
The
Baltimore.
fact no barges responding to move the ship. I don't know why, but reportedly they made a call in a power loss. That's what. Look, that's what Mark said. He said the fact that no barges responding to move the ship. I don't know why, but reportedly they did make the call in a call in power loss. Yeah. Shout out to Mark. Appreciate you.
Hey man, Mark, put your cash app in the motherfucking comment section. Y'all niggas sending Mark some motherfucking money, man. Cause
Right.
he you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know?
Right. For surely. Appreciate you. For surely.
Yeah, hey
That's what
Mark,
we
man,
do.
Mark, send this shit to 50 people. You know what I mean? Fuck that.
Right. That's right.
We had to start
Appreciate you.
something like when we start making some bread and shit. We can do like
He
we
said
can
I'm
do like
busy.
we can do like dollar shares, like you know,
Right. Right.
share the shit, and we send you $1 per share, you know.
Right. 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 Right.
But
He said
but
thank
no,
you.
but
Yeah. For sure.
but look, seriously though, look.
Right.
So this is the Francis Scott Key Bridge, right? Again, what does
Appreciate
that
you.
mean? What is the significance of that? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think about this dude being associated with the Star Spangled Banner? The
Uh-huh.
bridge that collapsed was named after the dude who wrote the Star Spangled Banner.
Right. So the bridge took a knee.
What do you think that means? In your
The
opinion,
bridge took a knee. He got his knee took out.
he
Seeing,
so the bridge is on some Kaepernick shit. Is America on some Kaepernick shit?
yeah, I mean, I know that bridge. I know that Star Spangled Banner has caused a lot of conflict in this here situation because they
But
always
I
tell
mean,
you,
but
you
the
know,
Star Spangled Banner is also the staple for America. It's like, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
It's
exactly.
America's theme
The
song.
first verse, the first verse, not the second and third, because they don't even get to that part.
Well, you know,
You
and
know,
that's what we're talking about. You know, the third verse being associated with slavery. You know what I'm saying?
right, right.
And talking about, you know,
So
the blood of slaves and you know and shit like that. Now, and also it being confirmed that the dude who wrote the shit was against abolishing slavery. You
right,
know what I'm saying? His stance on it was, hey, look, if you happen to get free somehow, then you know more power to
whatever.
you. But
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not
yeah,
down
whatever.
with this. I'm not down with just letting all these niggas run free. That's basically his position on it.
Oh,
Dude who wrote the Star
right,
Spangled Banner, and this is the dude who this bridge is named after.
right,
You know what I'm saying?
right. Man, appreciate it. Yep.
Now, what is that? Is that symbolically? What could that mean? That's what I'm asking you. You know, I
Right.
threw that question out there, but I'm asking you, like, what symbolically? What do you think that means?
The people that's associated um with that Star Spangled Banner. Um, shit, I know they do operations and things. They always got to be symbolic to something. So you know, in that they bringing back that song, making everybody know that Francis Scott Key was responsible for it. You know, paying homage to him. When was his birthday? When was his death date? What did he do on certain days? Because they know history that we don't know, especially about that individual itself. Uh-huh. Yep.
Now, I got a slide that I want to throw up here with some images from, I guess from the daytime, I guess.
Mhm.
You know, so
That's funny.
they updated and showed some more images. Trying to get a video clip here and there if I can. You know.
Funny.
All right, so look. we got some information to go over right here. You know what I mean? Let me
Okay.
get this up on the screen. All right, so I think we pretty much read this off. Now let me move the banner. You gotta move the banner because now we reading shit now. You know, we
Right.
but we getting in our Hebrew Israelite bag. Read. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Right.
Only thing we missing is just the purple and gold and the Shogun outfit. You know what I mean? But
Right.
all right, so I think we read this earlier. So this is the Francis Scott Key Bridge. You know,
Right.
they said it was a box ship that hit this joint at 1:00 in the morning, 1:30 in the morning. Now, again, like, you know, in the head of the show, you know, I sagaciously talked about this, but you know, the witching hour is 13 o'clock, or in other words, 1 a.m. You know what I'm saying? Now, the witching hour is not just an hour; it extends from 1 a.m. or 13 a.m. to 3 a.m. Why is it extended to 3 a.m.? Because 3 a.m. is the inverse of the sacrifice or the crucifixion of Jesus. You know what I'm saying? So Jesus was sacrificed at 3 p.m. The upside down cross is 3 a.m. You know, we talked about this, you know, a couple times, you know, especially for people out there that used to have LimeWire and you get the music from LimeWire and you trying to figure out why they always put 3 a.m. on all of the comment, you know, in the comments of the music, you know, but there,
Right.
so there it is. But yeah, let's get to this slide real quick. All right, so yeah, we went over this. Now, all right, let me read this last little bottom part right here. The video from the incident shows the ship slamming into one of the bridge's support pillars and the structure completely collapsed into the river. Now, we did see that, right? But reading that shit on paper and actually looking at this shit, you know, frame for frame, it makes you wonder, well, what the fuck were they doing out there? Now these people said that now with the other information that we got, where they said, well, they slowed down traffic on the bridge, right? But we saw people still crossing the bridge while this shit was happening, right?
Right.
And people on the bridge while this shit happening. So
Yeah, they will stop traffic.
So yeah, so if you saying that, hey, it's a potential that this bridge might collapse because this box ship down here is going crazy. That's basically what they're saying. Hey, this box ship down here is going crazy. We can't get control of it, and maybe I guess maybe the box ship turned into a Mustang. You know what I'm saying? Because it was just down there doing whatever it wanted to do. Because you know you can't put no saddle on a Mustang. So it must have been doing whatever it wanted to do because we saw that shit go past the support beam and then come back, and I don't know if it backed into that shit or what, parallel parked into the support beam, but that shit makes sense with the fuck we just looked at. I don't give a fuck.
We missed.
Look, y'all go look.
We missed.
Is recorded. You can go back and look at it yourself now, frame for frame. You know, and we doing we doing some extensive investigation on this shit on the fly. You know what I mean? And not to say that, you know, a bridge collapsing is the most important thing in the world, but it's to say that these people do bullshit. So even in the most arbitrary story, is coded with shit. You know what I'm saying? It's and quite possibly even intentionally done. You know, for reasons yet later to be divulged. You know, but that's what's going on. We just pointing out this shit like, okay, well, these stories that y'all want us to believe be having inconsistencies, the big ones and the little ones. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And this seems to be a big one.
Right. Now, in the current state of affairs right now, I would definitely say that the Puff Daddy situation is bigger than this shit.
Right.
You know, the Moscow situation is bigger than this shit. You know, but, you know, things that, you know, that could ultimately be seen as distractions themselves also, you know, because somebody had pointed out, you know, that this particular event is a distraction from what's going on. Now, some people might think that the events that are going on, some of the events that I described, are the things that they want to distract you from. But
Right.
in all essence, all of those stories are all distractions in their own right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
From something more nefarious at play. Something like the country collapsing, or even some landslide event that could turn into some type of purge type shit. You know,
Right.
these type of events. You know, these things that they
Mhm.
plan to do, and they don't even hide talking about, and it's just basically for them it's just a matter of time before they do this shit. You know what I'm saying? Allegedly.
Right.
Let's be on the safe side.
Right.
Allegedly. So
There it is.
the Francis Scott Key Bridge, you know, and of course this is the Star Spangled Banner dude. This is not just for nothing.
Right.
You know, they said
Right.
now this is them saying, look, this ain't no terrorist attack and nothing, you know, at least not to our knowledge right now. You know what I mean?
At least not that we
So,
put together.
so this is probably about the time, this is what it looked at probably about the time that I learned about this shit. Now remember the girl
Right.
said that, now look, this confirms what the girl said. Remember the girl said half the bridge is gone.
Right.
Now you see in this video, you see the other part of the bridge is still there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So when you're looking at the video, and that's what saying, like sometimes what you don't see in the video is just as important as what you do see in the video. Now,
Right.
for most people who saw that video clip, want to see that video clip, they assume that the whole bridge had collapsed, just like we did.
Yeah.
You know, so
Just
when
like
the girl
in
said,
just like in the city when the 89 earthquake. Right.
Right, that's why it's important to have boots on the ground. That's what I thought you was going to say.
Right.
You know, having boots on the ground and having people actually can confirm what they're seeing. You know, so when this girl is saying half the bridge is gone, somebody might think that, well, what bridge she looking at?
Right.
But you know, you can see that, you know, if you was somewhere in that area, you would be seeing this in that same way, and you would be coming to the same conclusion. Like, well, if not half the bridge, a big chunk of the bridge is gone. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But there is still
Right.
some quote unquote bridge erected. You know what I'm saying? Now, if I was around people who have problems with their masculinity, they'd ask me to say something else. But
Right.
all right, we are closely monitoring the tragic situation unfolding. As a result, container ship collide with Francis Scott Key Bridge. Our thoughts are with the families and the missing and the injured. So you know, he's just doing his PR thing. You know what I'm saying? So all right, so this is okay, so this is an overhead joint of this. Now I haven't really, I just grabbed this shit together. So I didn't really look over this. We're looking over this together. So
So the ship is still there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
the ship. Right.
Yeah, good observation. Yeah, so all right, so that's half the bridge, like the girl said, right?
Uh-huh.
The rest of the bridge is in the water, and the ship in contain. Well, obviously, it's, you know, basically a crime scene. Like they can't just move the bridge. Like they can't just move the ship down. Like my bad. You know what I'm saying? Like,
pull off. Keep on going. Yeah. Float off. Go float off and shit.
This not like in the streets of Baltimore. You know, this ain't just to get it done. You can't just back out and just.
Yeah, shout out to BMO for sure. Exactly. Be more careful. God damn, that's the whole little thing. Shout out to Baltimore. Yes, for sure. And shout out to y'all for tuning in. Yeah, we're sitting here talking about this event that's been transpired and what's going on.
Now here's the thing. Now that we have more visual, we can kind of touch on different angles of this.
Right.
You see all of that shit right there? Like literally all of that shit right there. Wherever that shit was going is now it's not going. It's held up. Now think about it. That's, some of y'all, listen, y'all looking at this screen right here. Some of y'all orders is on that shit. Some of the shit that y'all niggas order from Amazon and wherever else is literally
right. On the Wish app.
That's no cap. There's no cap. And I'm not
right.
But it's like, all right, listen, it's not outside the
realm.
That's
hell of them.
That some shit that we ordered is on that fucking that box ship right there. Look at all them shipping.
Right, listen, that's a lot.
Listen, it's not illegal.
And hell of them fell down.
Look, it's not a long shot.
Some of your shit is damaged.
Some of them fell in the water, so it's not a long shot to say
Right.
some shit on there is important, at least to somebody. Something on that whole box ship is important to somebody. You know, that's
irreplaceable.
That's not a stretch, exactly. Or
Right.
and even a life or death situation. That's not a stretch to.
There could be people on there. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Now, yeah, somebody's order.
So, all right, what about now? All right, when they say that they're searching for people, right?
Right.
Are they searching for people who was on the bridge, or are they searching for people who was on the ship?
Right. You don't even know because whoa, that's hot. For sure.
Because the ship was, because look, this ship wasn't AI. At least we don't.
Right.
At least that wasn't confirmed. Maybe it was. But you know, somebody, but from the video, even from the angle we was looking at, it looked like a nigga was operating in front of the ship, right?
Yeah. Not from that. I mean, not.
But when you step back and look at the mass of this ship,
right? Yeah. That not at all.
That was
no, it couldn't have been. Nah, not at all.
Would have had to been. He'd had to been like
enormous. Yeah, that was Jesus running that. Jesus take the wheel.
He'd have been a whole giant. Like if that was that'd have been like a giant
running it. Yeah, running this video back. We're gonna running this live back. We're gonna look back and what we thought was a person. We're gonna look at that. We're gonna run that shit back. And what we thought was a person.
All right, that's the front of the ship. So like, let me pull up that because if that's the case, that would have had to have been a whole or a fucking Goliath.
Right. That's wow.
But it did look. But look, listen, and that's what the type of shit that these people do online. You will have somebody that'll show you the same clip that we showed you and say, look, it's a giant on the ship.
Somebody drove into something.
Look at the giant driving a boat, and he driving. You know, look
right.
Listen, if we didn't have integrity, we
wouldn't even mention it. Yeah.
Let you believe that that's a whole person right there. Niggas on TikTok would allow you to believe that's a whole person. And look, nigga, the moment that the driver of the ship dies or some shit.
Yeah. Somebody ran out of the picture. Right.
Put this shit in context now. What we looking at right here.
Right, and what we was just looking at.
Who would have did such a thing? For those people who did such a thing, you know, shout out to Opera because they just helped me out a little bit. You know, they just kicked me out the room for no reason.
Right. Yeah, it is.
So, shout out to Opera
for sure.
Kicking me out the room for no reason. You know what I mean?
That is
but
it.
I'm trying to play by StreamYard regulations. You know, StreamYard say use Chrome, use Opera. Okay. But your shit still fucked. Okay, but all right, so let's go to this. Let's go back to the slide. Let's go back to the slide. Just to put that in context, what we just looked at. You know what I mean? So all right, where we at in the slide?
Right.
That's a crazy angle right there. So all right, look, you see the size of the now look, just right here, boom. You see the size of the ship in reference to the bridge. So that's a pretty big ass fucking ship. You know what I'm saying? So that couldn't have been somebody sitting in the front. Look at the size of this ship. These are millions. These are hundreds of shipping containers stacked up.
Yep.
That's why I was calling it a brig, you know, because this shit is huge. So clearly.
Hey, and one thing about it, hey, look, there was like in each one of these little.
Don't let
in each one of these.
Man. Don't let the TikTok. With fighting hand bullshit. I'm telling you, and you can take this to the bank. They would have did. I'm telling you, they would have. If we didn't say this shit, they would have did this shit. They would have told you that it's some fucking monster driving the fucking ship, and you know, Leviathan came out the fucking water and knocked the fucking ship off the bridge off the track. That's what they would say.
Oh, yeah, something going on there.
Crazy.
Look.
You know, but look,
that monster.
Looking at that shit. Now look, y'all watching this, keep it a bean. Don't that shit look like it's a person sitting in the window right there?
and then they get out of the way when the shit
Telling you,
collapse.
yo, niggas would say that. They'd be like, look, you can't tell me that's not a person. That's a person. Somebody
If
just
it was a
died.
train,
You know?
yeah, if it was a train going through or
If that's a
something.
person, like, all right, but if that's a person, look at the size of the bridge. These are support beams that this person is next to. So if that's his
Yeah.
torso, then how tall is he? If he's a fourth of a support beam,
Right.
if that's his head, how come on, man.
Right.
So we just look, we taking traction from the detractors before they even get started. So don't even try to do this bullshit because we already caught your ass. You know what I mean?
Fact.
But anyway though, but just dealing with this video right here, just looking at it again, right?
Yeah, play the original. Play. You got the original cue.
Yeah.
Yeah. Run that because we can see that shit run. Like now that we didn't seen all of those videos, we can just see this thing unfold from the rip. Check this out.
I just want to point out again. You see those support beams, they're going to move to the right as the ship moves to the right. So the only way that I can explain that is if the ship went under the bridge and then backed up into these beams.
Right.
From what we saw,
like
I gotta say that before we go back to the original clip. So from here, this would have to be the back of the ship. Like literally the back of the ship. You know what I'm saying? So one, you gotta ask the question. If you went under the ship, why did you back up into the support beam? You're not even supposed to be backing up.
Right.
Maybe you try to make some hook turn and turn into this shit. Because maybe what we're looking at is the front. Let's see. Let's go back over here real quick. Hold on.
Yeah.
Maybe this is that.
That's the front of the ship.
So
right.
I don't know, dog. Maybe that's not the front of the ship. Do you think so?
I mean, everything else in the back. Yeah, everything else in the back is flat. You know what I mean? Like the back of that ship right there is like all flat, but then the front of the ship, it looked like it has.
Hold on, my fault.
You had another slide that had a different angle of it too.
Yeah, I'm gonna go there. So, let me see. All right, now look.
Yeah, the ship.
See, is that the front of the ship or the back of the ship? That's the question. Now you can even see.
The front of the ship.
Look, if you look closely, you can see some of those shipping containers that's damaged on the ship. They caved in, they fallen down. See that?
Right.
And some of them, and some of them fell into the water. You know what I'm saying? So this is going to hold up somebody's something. Trust me. Somebody's something was on that shit, and they might even say, "Oh, damn, something real important that we all needed," and that shit's gonna make things worse. You know?
Right.
Why? How come all of these events that keep happening, from the train wreck to boats, bridges collapsing, everything is always something that results in you having to pay for some more shit, or some shit being fucked up for you, or you got to do without, because you know what I'm saying. It just in the probability of numbers, sometimes something is going to happen in your favor. Even the goddamn. Let's get back on. Even the goddamn when the Pfizer building blew up. Remember when they said Pfizer caught fire or some shit? Even when that shit happened, that shit still, like, motherfuckers clapped for that shit. Like, yeah, we got one. Even that shit was detrimental to you. Oh, you gotta pay more for this now. Oh, no, motherfuckers can't get their insulin and shit like that. Like, so it's like, man, like all these events that have been happening, they've been running stories. They've been running on the news. All of these drones have been counterproductive to your overall health. They're all contributing to this landslide event that we fear they might be trying to metastasize, if you get what I'm saying. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to say that real quick. Let's go back in here. Matter of fact, let's go back to the original clip. All right, let's go through the slide. So, all right, now I'm gonna get to this in a minute right here. I want to talk about Mr. Key. You know what I mean? We got to talk about Mr. Key in a minute. So let's go back to the original joint. Let's pull up the original video because we got to make sense of this here. Now that the light is being shined on this shit, right? And we can see what happened in the daytime, and we can see we got imagery from the daytime. We can determine the front or the back of the ship. Now, all right, just real quick, in your opinion, is that the front of the ship or the back of the ship?
Right.
No, I'm asking you. What you think?
We'll see that in the clip. Which one was it? Say it again.
I'm saying, do you think that the point of impact happened from the front of the ship or the back of the ship? That's what I'm asking you.
Well, it would have had to go from the front of the ship, because if it missed and then had to double back, because that's the only way. Like it, from depending on the angle, we were looking at the ship. Because if they showed the ship from the back, we got to run that slide back, because in those slides it showed the aerial view of the after view, so we could see.
Oh yeah. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So that's how we can determine whether it was the front or the back from that point, because that looked like that would be the front.
Now look,
there's a headlight at the front of that. Yeah.
Now let's just say, just for the sake of this conversation, well, we can see where the smoke is coming from. That's that shit that we saw in the middle of the ship, and so that to me tells me that this now maybe you know what? Maybe this video is footage from the other side, maybe. But even still, what we're looking at seems to be that this ship is moving away from us, right? Are we on the same page with that? That the ship looks like it's moving away from us?
No, in order for impact to happen, it has to move towards us.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And from where we are, yeah.
So is the ship from? All right, let me start it over. Cause see, that's what I'm saying. Cause this video, even though it seems to be simple, it may be very confusing here. You know what I'm saying? So let's look at this. Let's what are we?
I know.
Go ahead.
See, one of my questions from the beginning was, those construction vehicles are blocking people from being close to where that ship impacted that. You know what I mean? Whether it was by design or it just so happened that's good for those people. You know what I mean? But that construction site, you know what I'm saying? I always look at the placement of things, because like we're just like I can pull it up from books and other things, but what we know is that's actually a scene. They created a scene, so everything around it is a prop. You understand what I'm saying? Things are there for a reason. This is really a scene, nothing else but what we're seeing. You know what I'm saying? This is very complex. It's not, you know what I mean? We're not dealing with people that, this isn't random. This is an actual scene of something that got made. You know what I mean? Like, for real, whether it's accident or it had a purpose. So looking at everything, what we're doing is we're identifying everything in the video itself in order to dissect what we're watching to see what's happening. So that in itself separates the, you know what I mean? Like when we're digesting what we're watching. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Because that would have to be the front. Yeah.
So all right, right
Looks
here.
Like
right here. What are we looking at right here? So all right.
They wouldn't put the smokestack. Look, they wouldn't put the smokestack in the front of the ship, because it would blow that black smoke all the way around all the people.
Right.
So you know what I mean? Like that, where that smoke is coming from. Yeah.
Backwards like that. So that, from what we're looking at,
right,
that would imply that this ship is moving away from us. See the smoke? You can't fake that. You know what I'm saying? So the smoke is
no, it has to be moving towards us if it's going backwards. Look at it.
But you see how
it's moving.
See how the smoke started under the bridge and now was up over the bridge. So that also implies that it's moving away from the bridge and under the bridge. Even how that light, that bright light that's coming across the water, the box ship blocked that light momentarily as it passed
Yeah,
by,
no, the ship
moving
at
away moving
yeah, but
away
the
from
ship
the
right now. Okay. Well, for right now, what I'm looking at, the ship hasn't even got to the bridge yet. The ship is behind. All of that smoke is behind the bridge itself. Like it's about like the distance from what I'm looking at because that smoke.
now it hit the so it so what it so we what we're actually looking at is, see, it looks like it's going away, but it's actually coming towards the bridge. That's what we're looking at.
Right, right, right.
That's what's crazy about this video, because when you're looking at it, it's like, all right, well, how the fuck do you explain this smoke moving away from the bridge? You know what I'm saying?
Right. It never even got to the bridge. That smoke never even made it to the bridge. It wasn't that close.
That's a tricky ass angle, and it's almost like all right, like somebody said, a distraction, because I can see motherfuckers arguing about was the ship coming or going. Literally, we don't know if it's coming or going. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, because if you run that back, that smoke from that bridge, from that ship was going the opposite direction. It never made it to the bridge. You know what I mean? With wind blowing, wind must be blowing that way, of course, because the ship is propelling. It's going towards the bridge.
KYW News Radio.
But does
On the search
Oh, we just missed
the Supreme Court hears
we just
argument.
missed the news drop from them, but they're gonna come. They're
or
gonna
the
come
latest?
every 15 minutes, and something. So
Right.
all right, so
For
all
sure.
right, let's go back into this shit again. Let's look at it. I feel like we reviewing a motherfucking playoff game or something. Like we gotta review our opponent.
Yep.
And shit, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Flag on the play.
All right, so all right, look.
Yep.
Let me not skip around. So all right, so I'm supposed to go back
Yep.
here. 5.
To the side. Yep.
Okay, so all right, that's an angle. Now look, right there. Now if you look all the way to the right, to the left, and look up to where the structure is going into the water, like almost at a almost at a 90-degree angle, right there.
Right.
If you look closely, you can see what looks like it could be the mast of the ship. So that could be
Yeah, it could be a part of the ship. Yeah.
coming this across, from left to right.
Yeah. Yeah, it might be a few shipping containers right there in the corner. Yep.
All right,
See,
so yeah,
that would be the front. It's
that
more
would
ship shaped in the front.
came. Now the thing is this. See, it's no land and nothing back that way. Now,
Right.
now you see how that ship is positioned right there.
Yeah.
Why is that ship positioned that way?
Yeah, exactly. At all.
It's not straight. It's catty-cornered. Like it's almost like somebody turned. Right?
Yeah.
That's a turning position. That's not. If you was going under the bridge, you wouldn't go under the bridge on that angle. You would go under the bridge straight.
Right.
Straight under the bridge. You're not gonna go on an angle like that. That motherfucker is pointed southeast.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
That motherfucker is southeast. So all right. So this would be.
It's a compass.
So this would be the front of the bridge, right? I mean, the front of the ship.
Mm-hmm.
And that's see how the shit fell and kind of wrapped around the front of that shit, and it knocked down the shipping containers and shit. You know what I mean? So that would be the point of impact and the front of the ship. So we can look at that just from the pictures. We can determine. So all right, we're gonna get into that in a minute. So this is some info that I dug up real quick on the bull Francis Scott Key. The person who this bridge is named after. So
January 11th, 111, huh?
Right. You know, so you see the 11 prevalent. We're gonna get into it. You know, I want you to take a the bridge. I mean, turned into that beam. Like we not even gonna. I'm not even gonna play with that motherfucker turned into that beam. From the angle that shit turned. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now the thing is here. See all them lights and shit behind it?
Yeah.
We don't see that. We don't see that. That's what make it tricky. See?
That's the front of the ship.
All right, so if that's the front of the ship, and so that would mean that these are from the same vantage point, or at least
right
the same vantage, coming from the front side of the ship, or and from this side.
That's not what we've seen. Yeah,
So,
that's not what you see in the video.
Where's the city line at? Like, see what I'm saying? If this is front of the front right here, all we see blue waters as far as the screen could go. Now,
but why he didn't bend? Yeah, but the location of where it snapped, why it didn't bend that part of the ship forward? Because his momentum would have went forward, and it would have made that bow out. You know what I'm saying? That would have been like an arrow.
Yeah, why did
that ship would have made the arrow? Yeah, if it hit it there.
Well, he knocked out the support beam, and the bridge fell directly on top of him. So I mean that it could be that. But yeah, I think that, you know, I do think that there's something like that would happen given the impact. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But the support beam is taken out, and the bridge free falls on top of the ship.
Right. Right. That's all connected to that.
Tricky, man. This shit really tricky, dog. Like it don't seem like it. You know, for somebody who's not really, but when you really look,
but we taking it, we really digesting the situation. Okay.
So that's the front of
looking at it.
Ship. That's basically. So now
look, see the
skyline. See that skyline all back there? That skyline is not far away. Even from the aerial view that they have, it shouldn't be that far away. That aerial view that they have, we should at least be able to see the start of the skyline, right? Because there's too many lights and shit there for it to be blue like this.
All the way, yeah.
Yeah,
that far away.
That's not a direct shot, and it's far away that it's far enough that we should be able to see some skyline like how we see here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that, you know,
the closeness.
The fuck happened. I wasn't there, so I don't know.
Right.
But one thing.
But then look at the other video. When you show the other video, it showed the skyline hella close too.
Man, that's spooky, man.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I mean, one thing about it is they showed that same picture. They could have showed that same picture close up. That's what they didn't do. That's what we're looking at. That's why that picture looks strange. It's because we could look at that picture. Yeah. They just showed you a big view of that. Yeah.
Okay, so look, you see the skyline ain't that far. So why? Yo, this is strange. How do we explain?
Yeah. They want to show you the whole area, you know what I mean, instead, because that's why the pictures are specifically made exactly like that.
This
is the question.
The crossing the this is another angle, but pointing in a different way. So this would be northwest.
Yeah,
if probably what north, because if this is coming,
and we're assuming
north. So
but we're also
this would be like if you was looking at it from the west.
Yeah, but we're also assuming that structure in front of it is part of the bridge. That might not even be part of the bridge, is what I'm thinking, because the bridge might still be a distance away from this little piece
Yeah,
right here.
exactly.
Because this would have collapsed too. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like that's what I'm looking at. Because
That's why.
that is
That's why
still
we
a
got.
distance away.
They couldn't. They probably couldn't get no closer than that. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's what I'm. Yeah, that's one of the things that I'm. You know what I mean? I'm paying attention to. 'Cause I'm looking at the distance. We got to count distance when we're looking at these things.
But the original video would suggest that the skyline is closer than what that outside image shows. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I think that might just be a slight, a difference in angle because maybe that's
Yeah, because
more.
look at there. The skyline ain't that far away.
But maybe it's farther away than it looks because it's nighttime.
Yeah, of course, of course. Yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah.
probably
Nighttime, you're gonna see everything.
probably really, really far away.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But that's one thing that maybe that's not as close.
Why did that fall like that?
You
Why did that piece just?
going to the water? You know what I'm saying?
Huh?
Like
Well, yeah, that last little part right there. Yeah, look at that last little part. Look, okay, it falls right there, right? That's where it collapsed. So look at the last part of it.
yeah. So wherever that person was,
Oh, right.
you know what? That person was on a bridge taking a picture of the bridge. They were on a different bridge. That's the only way we can explain that picture of the shipping container. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? That person was on
right,
a bridge.
right.
This picture here.
Okay. Yeah,
This picture here. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
How do we explain this picture? So what from what angle is this? Because
Yeah.
we
Where are
looking at
you at with this?
all of that shit is in the water.
Right. Uh-huh. Yeah, they put the rest of it in the water. Yeah, that shit's gone. Like, what'd you do with that part?
Right. Now this is from Citizens app. Somebody who this is a random
Right,
person.
right.
This is not the news.
Okay,
This is
okay.
independent people.
Bro, you can't really see nothing, but
You really can't see nothing.
half of the fucking bridge is gone.
You heard what she
Half of the
said?
bridge is gone. Yeah.
And it won't focus. Like, 'cause you can't see shit.
Yeah. Damn iPhone. Yeah.
All right.
So,
So that's in that clip. So all right, let me take that out real quick. I want to
right.
I do want to get to some of this esoteric shit. You know what I mean? I just wanted. Let me see if I got one more clip. I don't think that joint downloaded. Yeah, because that shit was acting like it didn't want to download anyway. So. But it was basically like a follow-up video of them talking about pretty much what they're saying on the news. Let me check to see if they came back on the radio real quick. But yeah, we gonna now. I'm gonna just go ahead and get into this the esoteric angle on it. You know what I mean? Because that's
Right.
definitely now that we look, you already started to read the shit. So we're gonna get into that. Fuck it.
Surely. Shout out to y'all tuning in.
All right, so where this
Philadelphia, California.
Let's start back through the slide again, right? Because this is like, I want to say, all right, if this girl, from where she is, she's probably on that other side. That's what she was recording. She was recording where the bridge. She's over there where the bridge is still up at. This seems to be like something that's in the water where somebody's taking this picture from right here. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
All right. All right. This is the Francis Scott Key Bridge. The dude who wrote the Star
Yeah.
Spangled, right? Now, all right,
Right.
let's take the logo out, and all right, let me see if I can make this bigger here. Can I make this bigger? All right. So, all right. So, all right. So, Pope, you with me here?
Yep.
All
I'm
right.
here.
So look. So
Mhm.
now peep some shit right here. Now January 11th, right? We already see some of these numbers popping back out to us. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you
Right.
refer to the third paragraph right here, you know what I'm saying? Now, matter of fact, you can start at the second paragraph right here. You know, we gonna get on our
All right.
can you see that? Can you see that?
Yep. I can see it. It say the Key Monument Association erected a memorial in 1898, and the remains of both Francis Scott Key and his wife, Mary Taylor Lloyd, were placed in a crypt in the base of the monument.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Despite several efforts to preserve it, the Francis Scott Key residence was ultimately dismantled in 1947. See,
God,
47. There you go.
God,
Now, the residence has been, yep, the residence has been located at 3516 18 M Street in Georgetown.
all right, yeah, just stop right there. So, all right. So again with this number 47, you know what I'm saying? So they
Right.
dismantled the shit in 1947, right? Now this
So they
bridge,
dismantled the bridge.
again, let's read. They dismantled this bridge 47 years after it was created. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh. Right.
Now, and he died
And it was dismantled.
he died on the 11th day of January. That also can be looked at as 4 and 7. Goddamn
Right.
47. I remember these people said that this is the most quintessential random number. You know, this is just random. You know, there's no
Yeah.
nefarious, things at play here. This is just completely random. You know, right?
Yep.
But how many times is
Look.
it possible before it's mathematically impossible? You know,
Right.
we got to keep in our minds here. They said numbers is works of the devil. Things of that nature, right? You know what I'm saying? Now, all right.
Right. So, yep.
Now go ahead. Go ahead. What you gonna say?
No, I was looking at the 1843. Because then, when the 1 in front of the 8, then that make it 7. And then you got the 43 that make it 7 too. So, you know what I mean? Like,
7-Eleven shit there going on. You know what I'm saying?
exactly. On January 11th, so you got 1, 1, and 1.
Mm-hmm. They play with the symbolism heavy, man. Now, all right, now, just to give a little
Uh-huh.
background on who this dude is, right?
He
He
owned slaves.
he
Yeah,
was
he
the
owned slaves.
fourth district attorney. Now, this is the person who the bridge is named after. He was the fourth district attorney
Right.
in America. I'm guessing is what they're trying to say, or to
Uh-huh.
President Andrew Jackson. So he's the fourth district attorney of Columbia, and he was appointed by Andrew Jackson. So that's what they're saying. So
Okay.
now,
What about what's on the screen right now?
right, that's what we're getting at. So now this dude right here is oh shit, my fault. So this dude who wrote the Star Spangled Banner, right? He owned
Right.
slaves in the 1800s.
Yeah.
You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Right.
And he wrote, and of course that's why what he wrote in the third verse, they don't be wanting to say, they don't, they recite with the first verse and the rock that shit, right?
Yeah.
Getting into the
Right.
blood, wash your hands in the blood of slaves and all that kind of shit. You know what I mean? Whatever the fuck he said in that third verse. We had to pull that third verse up too. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But
And look what it says he said right here.
look, what you say? I ain't hear you. What you say?
No, I'm listening. I'm listening to you. I'm listening to you. Phil, yeah, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say if you want to read the shit, you can if you want because
Yeah.
you
Okay,
know
for sure. It said It said Key owned slaves from, look, according to this, it said Key owned slaves from 1800, during which time abolitionists ridiculed his words, claiming that America was more like the land of the free and the home of the oppressed. Let me repeat that. Key owned slaves from 1800, during which time abolitionists ridiculed his words, claiming that America was more like the land of the free, home of the oppressed. Now tell me that ain't true, right? Now, as district attorney, he suppressed abolitionists and in 1836 lost a case against Reuben Crandall, where he accused the defendant's abolitionist publications of instigating slaves to rebel. He was also a leader of the American Colonization Society, which sent former slaves to Africa. He freed some of his slaves in 1830s and one as his farm foreman to supervise his other slaves. He publicly criticized slavery and gave free legal representation to some slaves seeking freedom, but he also represented owners of runaway slaves. Now,
so this dude straddled the fence here. You know, he's one of those fork-tongued motherfuckers you can't trust. So, you know, he owns slaves and he into that. Then he trying to, you know, when it serves him, he want to condemn slavery. Is that basically what we can take from this?
yeah. Look, somebody leave a comment and see if that's what you take from that. And see, because from what we read, I mean, it's
But why
we're only going off of what's being said.
Well, why does this man have a bridge in the first place?
Right.
You know, it's like, all
well,
right,
why do we have this information about him and he actually does have a bridge?
Like, all right, like remember a couple years ago, motherfuckers going around like tearing down statues of Christopher Columbus and shit. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So
where's this statue? I want to tear it down myself.
Like a statue is
I'm down with that.
You name bridge, like nobody would recommend to let's tear down this bridge because it's named after a racist. Nobody recommend that. It's like, if anything, let's rename the bridge. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So in light of that, since we pointing out this shit that this dude is a fucking racist, you know, two things is
George Washington Bridge.
You know, it's two things is at play: the Star Spangled Banner and this bridge itself. You know, is the Star Spangled Banner is being as though the person who wrote the shit was a racist, right? If these people want to get from the racist past and, you know, stop talking about racism and shit like that, should they do away with the Star Spangled Banner? So we just like, let's lift every voice and sing or something, you know?
Right. Which is the Black national anthem for those that don't know, for those that don't understand where that reference came from. Look it up if you don't know.
Right.
DuckDuckGo that.
And like, all right, look, even if that's a stretch, right? Because, I mean, honestly, that's my attempt at levity. But even if that's a stretch, all right, what about this bridge being renamed after somebody else? You know, just they want to put, what's the name?
When they rebuild it.
They want to put Harriet Tubman on the money. I think y'all should put her on this bridge right here because she was running. Wasn't she going up and down the coast, going from Virginia, Maryland up to Philly and bringing and freeing people and shit, right? So I think that
allegedly,
I think that in fairness, you know, being as though this dude is the contrast to her, right? Y'all named bridge, you know, and maybe that's why it's collapsed, you know. But
time for the Tubman. You gotta go take the Tubman Bridge.
I think, in my opinion, just on a side note, I think this shit should be rebuilt and renamed the Harriet Tubman Bridge.
There it is. There, I second that emotion. So Philadelphia, California.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I think. You know what I mean? I think that.
Right.
I think that's what we should be doing here. We should rename that motherfucker the Harriet Tubman Bridge. Fuck these motherfuckers with that bullshit where y'all bigging up a racist. You know what I'm saying?
So at this point, that also brings up the Star Spangled Banner. Should they or should they not continue using it? With this background, I mean, in this cancel culture, doesn't that seem like a cancel culture offense?
Yeah, but I think that would be asking for too much from these people, man. You know, that's like telling them that they can't eat apple pie no more. You know. So I don't know,
Yep,
but I think a step in the right direction would be to simply
yep,
rename this bridge. Rename this bridge the fucking um the Harriet Tubman Bridge. You know what I'm saying?
yep. The
That's what I
Tubman. You gotta take the Tubman.
the Harriet Tubman Bridge. That's what I think.
Yep. Let's go ahead and take the Tubman. Now, this man woke me up at 4 a.m. Cali time. So you know what I mean. In that, I picked
Nah,
the
dude,
pro.
you was already woke. You was already woke anyway, man.
Yeah, as soon as I got the call,
Yeah, you
I'm up when
me
you call.
was like, yo,
Oh yeah, yo, exactly.
you hit
Looking
me up
at this,
one in the morning. That shit was you hit me up at 1:30 or something. That's when this shit was happening. Now
right,
I know that
right,
this shit was happening until like 6 in the morning or 7 in the morning or something, whatever time. I mean, but
right.
this picture right here, I don't think they should have released this picture because that picture right there make that picture right there look make it says to me, you know what it says to me? It screams intentional. They say a picture is worth 1,000 words, but in this picture right here, it screams intentional to me.
Right. You can't miss. You had all that open space. If your engines were broken, you still had time to veer off that area. That's not something your whole computer could go down, but somebody could look at the front of that. I'm quite sure you have a view of the front of the ship. You know what I mean? Driving it. You know what I mean? Like they got to give you manual visual on that too. Even if you're looking through like what's that little periscope or whatever they look at when on submarines, you got
Right?
some kind of vision of where you're going forward. And if you said the sail in the back or the little, the whatever shift that shit left to right, if you say that shit was damaged and you couldn't make a turn or something like that, that would be different. But you drove into that situation.
Yeah, man.
Literally, you know what I mean? Pun intended. You drove into that situation. So
Right.
you know what I mean? Like in doing so, that's you can't say that that's not a activity. You could have moved out the way, just like with the boy the boy say on the Boondocks. It was like if she didn't want to get peed on, then move out the way.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You had action at actually getting out the way. That's neither here nor there.
I
You know
don't
what I'm
care.
saying? But in that situation right there, look at
Y'all
all
don't
that open area. It's
look.
showing you that picture itself is showing you that there's so much open area right there. He could have drove anywhere but into that one pole right there.
Right.
That's
You know,
driver's ed right there. That's
like
driver's ed 101.
it ain't no ships that's catacording through the knots. You know what I'm saying? They not just
Right.
out here posting on some catacorder shit. Like that ship is on an angle. And
And are those shipping containers or other ships out there?
if you ever seen ships going down the river, they are straight with they are straight perpendicular with that fucking or vertical with the tide. They not you don't see a ship angled like that unless it's trying to turn. So
Or
why
yeah, because that's direct
if the beam is literally the beam is literally right where the front of that ship is right now.
underneath. Yeah, underneath it. It should be underneath where.
So we know the ship. Let's say if we was to back it up and just follow the trajectory back off to the axis of the screen, we know the ship didn't
Right,
come from that. We know
right.
that ship. We know that ship came straight. It came straight
Yeah,
down the because
because
the
it didn't
ship
move afterwards. It didn't
ship
move afterwards. It stayed
because
where it was.
ships try to come. They try to come straight down the middle of the stream. They don't go on the side. It's not like you running for the touchdown. You trying to hit the end zone and you go
Right.
side
Yeah. The goalpost. Yeah,
like
you're
that.
going through the goalpost.
Yeah, no, this ain't that. This is you going straight down the middle. So when you see
Right.
this motherfucking bull cat corner like this, it screams intentional.
Yeah, that's direct. That is a direct hit.
Y'all
If you're
played
looking at anything else,
when y'all release this fucking shit.
too
we gotta
early. Too early.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Yep.
Ouch.
Y'all shouldn't have released this one. You know?
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, you already noticed the information age. People already probably figuring out who the fuck Francis Scott Key is and already talking about it. Motherfuckers already know him
Right.
from the Star Spangled Banner dude. Oh yeah, that's the dude.
Right.
That's the boy who wrote the third verse. Yeah.
Right.
Well, y'all got a bridge to him in the first place.
Right.
You know?
That's the first question.
What does that mean? What does that mean? Has America burned this bridge? You know?
Right.
Has
Right.
America burned its proverbial bridge? You know, what's that play here? You know, what does this mean?
Yeah.
Again, you know, let's go back in the slide, right? Let's go back in there. Here. Okay. Your shit is on there. Somebody's shit is on there. They ain't even tell us what this shit is yet.
Well, the problem on regional rail that's been fixed will have.
You know what I'm saying? They didn't tell us. Well, what is this shit that was being moved here? Let's go back. Let's go back to the front of the slide here. Let's read what they said this shit was. Now they told us it was a.
Closed. This is out there at Great Pass Airport.
They talk about. All right, they ain't talking about that. So they told us that it was a box ship, right? They said it was on its way to India, somewhere in India or something. And
Sri Lanka.
Said, Sri Lanka.
Sri Lanka.
Is that in India?
Yep. Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. I have to look it up.
So all right. They really just talking more about the ship, potential casualties, but they're not saying, you know, what's on this ship, or you know, it just says a large container ship. Okay, it says sending vehicles and people. All right, no, and, you know, so they just saying that the vehicles and people fell into the water.
Right.
But they're not telling you.
Yeah, we seen there was vehicles on.
Yeah,
right.
But we don't know what's on these shipping containers.
Right.
That's the thing. You know what I'm saying? So who knows what they're gonna say after that? You know, come to find out, oh, that was some shit that niggas needed. You know what I mean?
Right.
But that shit screams
the insulin that they said is the insulin that they said there's a shortage of right now.
Mm-hmm.
Some shit like that. Everything
Right.
connected.
Mm-hmm. But you know, I think we pretty much covered this situation. I mean, we could
Right.
not necessarily close the book on this, because I think this is something that still needs to be monitored. You know, because
ongoing.
it's
right.
It literally just.
We're gonna do a follow up.
You know, but
yeah, we're definitely doing a follow up.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they give us a reminder, or they make this an issue. They make this an issue. Like, oh yeah, by the way, niggas insulin was on that shit. You know what I mean? Something like you said.
Right.
Wouldn't be surprised. You know.
Right.
But
and we're definitely gonna do a follow up on this.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm still confused as to how the fuck this shit happened in the first place. You know what I mean?
Right. That's the first thing.
I'm gonna run the clip one more time. Fuck it. I'm running the original clip one more time.
Right. Yep.
Okay. Now look. Speaking of that, now listen to this shit here. Listen to this.
We're going to continue as whatever resources we have available to us, we will continue to use those resources until we've basically exhausted everything.
Yesterday, they used sonar provided by state police, and they searched from the mouth of the creek to where she was last seen, but they didn't find anything unusual. The girl's family says she was out playing with a few other friends at the park near Chester Creek at around 7 o'clock Saturday night when she slept.
What?
Well,
Are you listen? Do y'all hear what the fuck they talking about? They talking about some little ass girl. It's kind of crazy because it's similar to what we're looking at here. This is another story on the water. You see how they group all these stories together, you know. But so this little girl was supposed to be out playing with her friends by the water at 7 o'clock at night. What starts to happen at 7 o'clock at night around this time of year? Or what is already started? It's already start happening. It's already start in Chester County. So, you know, just to give us specifics, in Chester, this is in Chester County. In Chester County, look, Chester and the molester, but in Chester County.
Yeah, exactly. That's
it's already getting dark, significantly dark. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, even
with
if
your friends.
Right.
Yeah.
This little girl, they said she was like less than 10 years old or something like that, is outside by the water, playing by the water with her friends.
Right.
Didn't they just lock some people up for their kids doing a mass shooting or some shit like that?
Right. Right.
I think y'all should be locking these motherfuckers up because who let their little girl out playing out by the water and shit? Where the fuck was they at? Your kids is down here.
And why they ain't checked the neighbor's house? They ain't checked the neighbor's house.
Your kids is down here about not just the water, but by the river. Who let their kids just play unsupervised by the river? I'm confused.
Right.
You know, that's crazy.
Because the validation of this story.
I don't know, but they're saying that little girls, they're saying that, you know, they what is it? They do when they switch it to not rescue, but a recovery or something like that. So, you know, they on recovery mode. So they, you know, they're already saying that, you know, it's a wrap for her. She couldn't last in the water, but they said in 10 minutes she would have been downstream all the way to the mouth of the river. And that's like miles away. So the undercurrent is so strong that you can be pulled away in 10 minutes. So when you overlay
and
that,
they didn't know that every other day before her.
Huh? Say it again. Say it again for the niggas in the back.
Yeah, that you didn't every day of that child's life that they didn't know, the people around them didn't know that the river does that on a regular basis. That's every day. That can't just be like one day that river just happened to get like that. You know what I mean? Growing up out there, if you're that close to the river, then you know not to play in the river at no time because your ass gonna get swept down the street.
When they purchased the property, I'm pretty sure them people would explain to them, like, yeah, this is the river right here. This ain't nothing to play with.
Did they say they just moved there? Yeah. If they just said that somebody just moved there or something like that, and the family, nobody knew the area, so the kid just happened to jump in the water and shit and knew nothing about it, that might fly.
You know you live near water. It's shit. You know you can't drive your car back there, so you know you live near water. That's no excuse, man. It's no excuse for neglect. That's child neglect. You know, but even like when you overlay that situation with this situation that we're talking about, the Maryland shit, right? That's why it's so difficult for these people to be able to find people because it's like, all right, let's say a motherfucker fell out their car or fell out the bridge, fell out. A motherfucker try to get out their car, right? Because obviously you ain't gonna sit in the car, and then you get taken down the river by the. You know what I'm saying? So for them to say there's like 6 people missing, and we can count at least 6 cars on that bridge at the time of the collapse.
Right.
You know, it's people that unaccounted
for. Those 6 construction vehicles.
It's people that's unaccounted for because they could literally be miles and miles away from the area. You know what I'm saying? It's like that little area right there is like that's ground zero, so to speak, pun intended, right? But
right.
them people who, you know, try to, you know, get out their cars or whatever, even the car itself, depending on how strong the current is. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
They
Everybody doing Mission
been
Impossible.
taken out to the fucking ocean for by now. You know, that shit was 1 o'clock.
Right.
You know, that shit was 1 o'clock in the morning. The motherfuckers, they might have motherfuckers out in the ocean by now. So that's how difficult that shit is.
Right,
When you
moving.
really, you know, for them to really trek that area, you know, because you know water when you is gonna find the easiest way to navigate. So you know the rivers and the lakes and all that shit ultimately lead to the ocean. And you know, being as though that you right there in Maryland, you ain't that far off. So you know that's a fucked up situation, man. You know, now my thing is this.
Right.
You know, as we wrap this up here, my thing is this. All right, the people that was working out there, right? You know,
Right.
and it was like allegedly blocking people from getting on the bridge and all that shit. I would assume that those are the people who are missing, right?
Right.
Right.
But
Well,
one thing about it is why they didn't move that
wait.
construction.
Okay,
go ahead.
I'm trying to pose a question. I'm trying to pose you a question. So if that's
right.
so if these people are potentially service workers, right? Then why haven't you released their names? Why they ain't said who's missing? They saying they looking for some people, but all right, like if you say, so let's put 2 and 2 together. You know what I'm saying? Y'all said that the people was working on the bridge, and y'all said people was missing. So all right, we can equate who was missing. Should if motherfuckers know who didn't come to work today, right?
Mm-hmm.
So who the fuck is these people?
The project, they got accountability. Right.
Yeah, so it's like, man, we gotta step back and just look at news itself. And that's the thing that we want to, you know, really point out to y'all. Now, Pope, you can say something after this, but this is what we really want to point out to y'all, you know, as we wrap this shit up, is that you gotta look at shit with a detective eye. You can't just trust their news as the authority of truth, because these motherfuckers will tell you all kind of shit that don't make sense. You know, you have to practice critical thought. You know, you got to look at things through a detective lens and really see if they make sense. You know, you don't want to spend too much time on it. You know, but you know what I'm saying. But you do want to not take things for face value, and you know, take things with a grain of salt. So, Pope, you know, I'm gonna let you, you know, give your sentiments, and then we can wrap this up.
Oh yeah. Well, want to say shout out to those that tuned in to the situation. You know what I'm talking about, and like we're gonna follow up on this and stay tuned on this and make sure we keep you all abreast on this. So if you see Maryland Bridge Collapse Part 2, sign in and tune in to the stream. You know what I mean? Like, subscribe, and all those things. Share if you care. Share if you don't care. Somebody that care enough for the both of us. If it takes a village, we built this one, and words without action have no meaning too. So with that, pass it on to the good brother, Red Pill Rescue. Thank you, appreciate you, Asante.
Right, likewise. You know, so you know we're gonna leave it there. You know, we're gonna wrap it up. You know, if you come across vital information, it's your obligation to share it with the nation. You know, you can't stress that enough. That's not just a catchy line. That should really mean something. You know, so
Right.
you know, so yeah, we're gonna leave it there. You know, it's better to know something.
PopeNENT.com.
Right.
For
Yeah,
sure. And RedPillRescue.live.
You know, check out all of all of the platforms. You know what I'm saying? So you know, fuck with us on the X joint, you know, because they don't be censoring us on that joint. Fuck with us on Rumble, you know. It's better to know something than to believe it. You know, truth is undefeated. You know, that's the reality that we live in. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we gonna wrap this up, man. You know, Ashe, peace and benedictions.
Appreciate y'all.
We out of here, man. Love y'all.
Salute.
Right hand raised for profit.
Philadelphia, California.
I
Right.
mean,